All righty. So here we go. All right. So we're going to start standing. And just come to any old standing shape. So we're not trying to have good posture or be like in a yoga standing kind of thing. Just your body knows how to stand. Just stand for a moment. And if you like, you can close your eyes. If it would feel better to have a hand resting on a chair, you're welcome to do that. And start by just taking 3 big breaths to kind of transition from whatever's been going on this morning into this hour that we have together. Just 3 big transitional breaths. Good. And then as we're here, we're just going to do a very quick body scan. Just take stock of how you're feeling in your body, how your feet are resting on the floor, how the weight of your head is traveling down through your spine, into your legs, into your feet, into the floor. How's your skin feeling? Maybe you can feel a little bit of air on any exposed skin parts. I've got my windows open so I can feel a little breeze. How's your digestion? Maybe you've had breakfast or you need breakfast. What's your energy level feel like? Are you kind of hyped up? Are you feeling kind of like you're about to grind to a halt? Just checking in, nothing you need to do or change. And then if you could come up with a couple of words to describe how you're feeling right now in your state of mind, your mood. No story, no explanation, just how are you feeling right now? Doesn't even have to make sense. And then finally, turn your attention to your breath. How's your breath feeling? Where are you feeling your breath in your body? Are you feeling your breath in your body? Any words you could use to describe your breath, like fast, slow, shallow, deep, easy, constricted, expansive. Those are all kind of either end of the spectrum. Anything that comes to mind. And then let's all bring our hands to just rest on the rib cage. So just easy hands kind of pointing toward the where the ribs come together. Welcome if you're just joining. So good to have you here. We're starting standing and we're just checking in with the breath. Feel the solidness of your rib cage. And maybe you can tune into a little bit of movement under your hands. A little bit of movement in the rib cage as the breath comes in, fills up the lungs, the ribs expand to accommodate that volume that wasn't there before. And then as you exhale, maybe they kind of sink back just a little bit. Feeling that with your hands, and then bring one hand to the center, just about your diaphragm area under the low ribs, and the back of one hand, if you're able, just to the reverse. So at where your low ribs are on the back, and take a few breaths. We breathe in 3 dimensions. So maybe you can feel a little expansion at the front and the back of your low rib cage. And if you can't feel it, that's okay. Just maybe imagine the beautiful solid structure of your rib cage moving gently as the breath comes in and out. And then let's bring one hand to the low belly, one hand to the upper chest. And once again, check in here. Feel for any movement under your hands. Feel for that solidness of your collarbone and your upper chest. Feel for that beautiful fullness of your belly. And of course, we don't literally breathe into the belly, but as we breathe in, the lungs fill up, the rib cage expands, the abdominal organs push down a little bit, and the belly expands. Good. And now just let your arms hang down by your sides. And we're going to take a few breaths here. This is what we sometimes call sheet breath, because it's like you're making the bed. Turn the palms up, you float the arms up, maybe your gaze comes up. There's a tiny pause as the sheet is suspended in the air, and then it changes direction. Turn the palms down and float the sheet down onto the bed. A tiny pause before you switch directions. Flip the sheet up in the air and float it down. If you have a cat, this is probably about the point where the cat wants to help making the bed. That's okay. And I want to invite you to try the inhales through your nose, and then a beautiful long sigh out your mouth. Letting your gaze track along with the hands up and down. Let's just do a couple more of those, going absolutely at your own pace. Nice complete exhales and deep inhales. Good. Let's do one more. And really focus on that exhale, almost pushing down, bend the knees a little bit, feel into the feet, grounding. Good. Pause here for just a moment and check in with how things are feeling, your breath, your body. anything you're noticing. And then from here, we'll either come to lie on the ground or on your bed, or come to sit in a chair. So either way will work. I'm going to start lying down and I'll probably switch between those two. So take your time getting there. And if you're lying down, maybe you bend the knees, bring soles of feet to the floor, let the arms go wherever they want to go. Let the eyes close if that feels okay. And take a moment here to allow your body to acclimate to this feeling of lying on the ground. If you're sitting in the chair, feel into your feet and your pelvis supported by the ground. And then from either place, wherever you are, let's try a few more of those breaths. You can do the arms if you want, or you can just let your body rest. Inhaling through the nose, maybe visualizing the sheet lapping up into the air, suspending for a moment. Changing directions, exhaling down. Pausing for a moment, feeling the support of the ground. And then inhaling up. And a nice, long, complete exhale, all the air comes out. Good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work through all the major joints of the body. And I want you to imagine you're feeling a little bit cold. If you're able, from lying down or from sitting, you'll get hold of your right foot and just chafe it a little bit. Now, if you're not able to get hold of your foot for whatever reason, use your other foot, use your left foot to just give it a little rub. It's like you're trying to warm the joints of your right foot using either your hands or your left foot. Good. Pause there. And then we're going to move up to the ankle. So use your hands or your other foot to give that ankle joint a good chafing. You're warming it with your palms. Good. From here, slide the hands up your shin and your calf. Come to your knee and use both hands to warm your knee, the kneecap. Maybe a few swirls around the kneecap with your palm, that inside, outside of the knee, the back of the knee. Good. Just a quick practice to kind of bring us a little bit more into our bodies and to tune into the joints. Pause that movement, slide the hands up the thigh and find your right hip. And use either both hands or one hand. Maybe you're rolling onto your side a little bit if you're lying down. Warming your right hip, feel that hip bone, the kind of pokey outy bone, feel the side, and get a little bit into your low back. Good. Now take a big breath in and just relax. Let both feet come to the floor, both arms down. And take just a moment to see if there are any kind of echoing sensations in that right leg. Maybe the connection of the foot to the floor. Maybe some tingling or sense of warmth up the right leg into the hip. Does it feel different from your left leg? Maybe, maybe not. Either way is okay. And now we're going to repeat the process on the other side. So hands or foot to the left foot. Just imagining all the bones in your foot. So many little joints there. Sometimes in the fall, the joints start to get creaky. Giving them some attention. Giving our body some attention. And then as you're ready, bring that attention up to your ankle and just feel your ankle joint, the sides, the front, the back. Give it a little chafing. Good. Pause that, slide both hands up the calf and the shin. It's almost like you're pulling on a pair of tights or socks. Find your knee, try some nice warming palm circles around the kneecap, on the kneecap, sides of the knee, back of the knee. So when stuff happens, some of us cope by kind of disconnecting from our bodies. This is a chance to reconnect. Good. And when your knee feels like it's got some adequate attention, slide the hands up the leg and find your left hip. The ASIS bone, the sticky outy bone, the outer hip, the head of the femur. And maybe you can get a little bit into your low back on that left side. Notice here, you're holding your breath. That's okay. It just means you're kind of using the breath, holding to keep yourself stable. And what if you were to just release that holding pattern? Allow yourself to breathe. You don't have to be completely stable. And then as you're ready, pause the movement, let your hands come back to your lap or to the ground, feet to the floor or legs extended, whichever you like. Tune in for a moment here. How are things feeling? What are you noticing? Your two legs, maybe compared to the rest of your body, maybe compared to each other. Check in with your breath. Maybe try a few big inhales through the nose and a few big sighs out the mouth. And since we're all muted, you can do that audibly if you want, like a big kind of thing. And now from here, we're going to go on over to the right hand. Just use your left hand to warm the right hand, the fingers, the back of the hand, the palm, base of the thumb. Good, move on up to the wrist, the inside of the wrist, the outside of the wrist. You may find your hands are getting quite warm by now. And then slide that left hand, warming your forearm up to your elbow, and give that elbow some attention, maybe circles around the outer elbow, maybe some circles on the inner elbow. Good, and slide that left hand on up to your shoulder. And you can move your right arm a little bit to get access all around the shoulder, your armpit a little bit, the front of your shoulder, whatever you can reach in the back of the shoulder. And then up toward your neck. Good. Take a big breath in, pause, let your hands rest. And just rest for a moment. Close your eyes if you can. How does your right arm feel compared to your left, your right hand, your fingers? If you're lying down, how does your right shoulder rest on the ground compared to your left shoulder? Does the shoulder rest on the ground, or does it feel like it's kind of lifting up and held tightly? And now let's go on over to the left hand. Hi, Maple. I was hoping you might join us. Come here. Good girl. Warming your left hand, fingers, base of the thumb, palm, all those joints in your hand. And go on up to that left wrist, the inside of the wrist, the outer wrist. And then slide on up the forearm to the elbow, some circles around the elbow joint. Kind of getting to know our joints, getting to know how things are feeling today at this very moment. No backstory, no explanation, just how are things doing? Get the inner elbow. And slide on up to the shoulder. Give that shoulder some attention, the armpit, just whatever you can reach. And if you're not able to reach some parts, that's okay. Maybe you kind of imagine those parts being buffed or warmed in your mind's eye. Good, and slide on up to the base of your neck. Good. Take a big breath in, pause, big exhale, hands down. And check in once again. Couple of breaths. How are you feeling below the neck? Now from here, find your jaw. And, whoops, I just took my microphone off. Give your jaw some attention, maybe some circles. Really important joint. And then close your mouth a few times. Maybe you do the same at your temples. you want, you can give yourself sort of a full shampoo massage with your fingertips. Maybe a little extra attention to the back of your neck. And then take a big breath in and exhale, let it all out and rest. And see what you notice. Anything different? All right. So now from here, we're going to start to move those joints. And we'll stay either seated or lying down. If you're lying down and you feel like coming to sit, that's great. Slide your right leg long, whether you're sitting or standing, and scrunch up your toes several times, your right toes. Just scrunching the toes and releasing them. Scrunching and releasing. So we're asking a lot of ourselves right now. We tend to, if your mind is swirling a lot and you're having trouble settling down lately, as many of us have in the past several months, we're asking ourselves to focus, to stay focused. Okay, pause that scrunching of the right foot, right toes, and start to circle your right ankle. Take it really slow. If you think you're moving slowly, try slowing it down even more. Good. How's things feeling in your ankle? How's your breath? What's going on in the rest of your body? Are your shoulders hiking up a little bit? Trying to be really quiet in the body, just moving this one important joint. And then pause. And we're going to start to move the right knee. So if you're lying down, maybe you're extending the right leg and then bending it, kind of sliding your foot along the floor or the yoga mat. If you're sitting, sort of the same deal. Sliding the heel forward and bending it. You could put a hand on your knee. Feeling into your range of motion today. Taking it really slow to notice the details. Is there any point where the knee starts to click or to say, okay, I'm done, end of my range, that's too much, or go a little further, that feels good. Paying attention. And let's do one more there and then pause. And then if you're seated, we're going to start to circle the right thigh bone in the hip socket. So you could kind of swish that right knee in and out. Try putting your hand on the right hip and just feel how that bone moves in that beautiful ball and socket joint. Foot can stay on the ground or it can come off if you're lying down. Maybe your right foot comes up and we're circling our thigh bone in the hip socket. Maybe bring the right hand to the hip. Maybe you kind of roll onto your side and see all the ways it can go, that leg. How are things feeling in that right hip? If you're feeling anything twingy, anything approaching discomfort of the not good kind, You could pause or make that movement just so tiny, so tiny as to be almost imperceptible. Good. And then let's just pause, all of us together, and rest. Notice how that hip feels, how that leg feels in its entirety, from toes, sole of foot, knee, and hip. And we're going to go on over to the other side. Slide the left leg forward. We'll start to scrunch and unscrunch the toes several times. Scrunching and spreading, scrunching and spreading. Good. And then let's pause that, move on up to the left ankle and start to circle. Everything else stays quiet. Notice if there's anything else you're using to circle your ankle. Are you using your jaw or your forehead? Are you using your lips, pursing your lips? Are you hiking up one hip? All of these, just noticing. We all do these little compensations. But gaining an awareness of them allows us the opportunity to maybe make changes if we want. Pause the circling of the ankle. Notice any echoing sensations. And then we'll start to just slowly bend and straighten the left leg, working the knee joint. Accomplishing that in any way that seems appropriate. Staying focused on these tiny, tiny movements. Noticing how amazing your body is, so strong and beautifully designed. So much that it can do. And let's pause that, and then we'll start to work the left thigh bone in the hip socket. And maybe that's a matter of just leaving the foot on the ground and swishing the knee in and out a little bit, or sliding the foot forward and back. Maybe the foot comes off the ground, however you accomplish it. Making tiny choices. And the only thing I ask is that you keep the breath flowing if you can, and that you not push into anything that feels painful. So if anything's starting to feel twingy, back off, back way off. You'll still get a lot of benefit, even if you're moving just a teeny tiny bit, or even moving in your mind's eye. And then let's pause that, let the feet rest on the ground. Check in with your lower body just for a moment before we move on up. And we'll start with the left hand, opening and closing the left hand, spreading the fingers and contracting. Good. How are things feeling in your hand? And then relax the hand. Arm is resting on the ground if you're lying down. And we'll just bend and straighten the elbow, bringing the hand toward you. Could you slow it down and notice even more the process rather than just accomplishing the end point of bent and straight? Good. And then pause, bend the elbow, rest your fingertips on your shoulder. And we'll start to make some little tiny circles with the elbow. If that's feeling okay, they can get bigger. Maybe you switch directions a time or two. Good. Take a big breath in and release that arm down. Let the hand rest somewhere. And we'll go on over to the other side, the right hand. Opening and closing. Some of us have a lot of movement in our hands. Some of us have less movement. And it's a little different every day. Every day a little bit different. Good. And let's pause that and start to make some slow, easy circles with the wrist. What's happening right now with your wrist? Good. And let's pause that. Let your elbow rest on the floor if you're lying down. And we'll bring the hand toward the shoulder and extend it away, feeling into your elbow. Tuning into that whole journey from straight-ish to bent. Noticing how your body is accomplishing this. Beautiful. And then pause with the arm bent, fingertips to the shoulder, and we'll start to make some easy circles. Notice if when you start to circle, you're kind of driving into it, moving fast. And see what it would be like to just slow it down, maybe take it smaller. Maybe you can feel your right shoulder blade moving on your rib cage. Maybe you feel your right collarbone connected to the shoulder blade. Good. Maybe one more time around and pause. And then we'll nod the head, some little tiny nods. If you're lying down, maybe your head is kind of sliding on the ground as we nod. Maybe you let your eyes track along with what you're seeing as the head nods up and down. And then let's pause in the middle and let the head turn, maybe just even a little bit from one side to the other. Going no further than feels totally, it's going to say comfortable, but it's not really what I mean. Feels interesting, appropriate. Good. And then finally, just pause. Let everything rest for a moment or two. If you're lying down, you might like to draw the knees in. Take a roll or two from side to side. And then eventually roll to one side. And we're going to meet in either standing or sitting on your chair. Okay. So I'm going to stand for now. Bring your palms together. Take a few breaths here. Notice where your breath is going in your body, where you're feeling it. On the exhales, bend the knees just a tiny bit, allowing a little more weight to sink into your feet. On the inhales, maybe you sort of fill up a little bit and get a little taller. Not in any like standing up straight way, but more sort of like those things they have outside of I have to figure out the name of those things. I think of them with like car dealerships, those things that blow up and make those movements. Good. A big exhale here. And then inhale. On the exhale, clasp your hands, press your palms forward, let your chin come toward your chest. A nice stretch through the upper back. Take a big breath in, press the palms toward the ceiling. If that's accessible, maybe you look up. If the shoulders aren't having it, you could just bend the elbows and have the fingers point up. As you're ready to exhale, let the arms float down to the sides. And again, like that, moving a little faster, one breath with each movement, palms together to stand tall. Exhale, clasp the hands, press the palms forward, chin to chest. Breathe in, look up, maybe you lift up. And breathe out, arms float down to the sides. Good. Breathe in, palms together. Breathe out, press the palms forward. Breathe in, arms up. And here we'll change things up a little bit. Circle your right wrist with your left fingers and thumb, and find an easy side bend to the right. Let your neck be soft. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, let the arms float down. Good. Let's inhale both arms up. Circle right wrist and exhale, an easy side bend to the left. Let your neck soften and inhale back up, arms float down. Good. Inhale both arms up. And on the exhale, keep reaching tall through the left arm. As the right arm floats down, back of the right hand to the low back, turn to look over your shoulder, and we'll stay here for a few breaths. Breathing in, getting tall as the left arm reaches toward the ceiling, and breathing out as your upper body turns toward the right. Big exhale here. And inhale, right arm up, both arms up, and exhale, both arms float down, bend the knees a bit. Breathe in, both arms up. Now, right arm keeps reaching as you exhale, back of the left hand to the low back. You're reaching tall, inhaling with the right arm and exhaling. Using your left hand just to gently encourage your twist of the upper body. Maybe your head is turning to the left, if that's okay, on your neck. Feeling that wonderful kind of tension between the length and the twist. Exhale completely here and inhale both arms up. Exhale both arms down. Beautiful. Now, bring your, bring your feet to just a little bit wider than hips distance. And we're gonna do a little practice that's sort of an adaptation of a Qigong practice. So imagine you're holding a beautiful ball that's kind of an orb that maybe expands and contracts a little bit. You can decide what color it is. Maybe it glows a little bit. We're holding it here at about the level of the belly. Take a few breaths here as it expands. Maybe your hands move apart a little bit, and as it contracts, maybe you feel that movement. Good, and then holding your orb here at the belly, exhale. And when we inhale, your hands are holding the orb and you're gonna press it up over your head, looking at it, holding it with your hands. When you're ready to exhale, bring it down again to waist level. It's sort of like you're working with a beach ball in the water. Inhale it here. And then on the exhale, you'll press it down into the ground. You can come all the way down with it. You could sit on the chair and just press it down a little bit. And then on your inhale, bring it back to waist level, bringing it up. Exhale here. And inhale, press it up toward the ceiling. Follow it with your eyes. On your exhale, press it down. We're working with gravity here, coming back to waist level. Pause here, take a nice big inhale, filling up the orb, filling up yourself. And as you're ready, exhale it down, feeling that slight resistance. Bring it up to the waist as you inhale. Exhale here. And one more time, we're going to inhale it up toward the ceiling or the sky. Maybe a little pause at the top of your inhale, and we'll exhale it down to the waist. Good. From here, take the ball and imagine you're putting it inside the cavity of your rib cage, your chest, your belly. Excuse me. And then come to take a little walk around your room. Notice how your feet are articulating. If sitting is better for you, you can kind of swing your arms, maybe march your feet a little bit. As you're walking, notice how your arms swing, your body moves through space. Maybe you notice the colors and shapes and the light around you. Noticing maybe how there's a little twist as you walk. Right. And then finally, come back either to sit or to lie down. Take a few moments to get there, take your time. Feeling maybe into the steadiness of the floor beneath you, allowing the floor to hold your weight. It's not moving, it's not going anywhere. Allowing the chair to hold your weight. Steady, solid, held, supported. And for the next few moments, consider this a transitional time, that time that we don't usually get between activities, between meetings. So your job right now is to let things gel. Nothing to do, no place to go. Let things gel. Let things integrate. Be here just for about another 30 seconds before we transition out of this integration period. Self-care is an expression I have very mixed feelings about. Maybe you do too. But the fact is that we need to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others who need it, who need us. Now breathe your way into sitting up if you're lying down, by which I mean don't hoist yourself up, just easily breathe your way and come on back to the screen. And we're just going to spend a few seconds breathing, maybe a few big sighs. And if you like, you could look into each of the faces here. Such beautiful faces here together. You're stronger than you think you are. You're here, you're real, you're solid, your mind, your body, your body, your mind. Thank you all so much for joining me. Such a treat to see you. Keep in touch. Stay strong. I love you.